A person should have his roots deep in a great moving current, a moving stream of conscious direction, which will keep him on course, sailing steadily toward the destination he's chosen, regardless of the economic and social winds that blow first this way and then that on the surface. In such a life, there's no great hurry, no frantic running about, no doubt or confusion. Instead, each day he moves a little way along his course, steadily, unrelentingly. And above all, he has the wonderful, calm knowledge of his destination, and knows that each day finds him closing the distance that still separates him from it. Sometimes in his life, as in all lives, there are storms which tend to throw him off course, obstacles which for a time may delay him, but soon he's right back on course again, moving ahead. His roots are firmly held by the steady stream of his belief. This is the life of the strong, serene person, the person of wisdom, the person who knows that he cannot do or become everything in his lifetime, so calmly chooses that which he desires, pushing everything else from his mind, and begins his life's journey. Until in a very few years, he's miles ahead of all but the few who live as he does.
Our attitude is something we can control. It is then our attitude toward life which determines life's attitude toward us, cause and effect. You and I are responsible for our lives. You and I produce causes all day long, every day of our lives. The environment can only return to us a corresponding effect. We get back what we put out. Attitude is the reflection of the person inside. I know the world will give me back what I put out in the way of attitude. So it's up to me. I'm responsible. A person with a poor attitude becomes a magnet for unpleasant experiences. When those experiences come, as they must because of his attitude, they tend to reinforce his poor attitude, thereby bringing more problems and so on. The person becomes an example of self-generating, doom-fulfilling prophecy. There are millions of human beings living narrow, darkened, frustrated lives, living defensively simply because they take a defensive, doubtful attitude toward themselves, and as a result toward life in general. Wherever you find a person doing an outstanding job and getting outstanding results, you'll find a person with a good attitude. These people take the attitude toward themselves that they can accomplish what they set out to accomplish. They take the attitude that achievement is the natural order of things, and it is. They have a healthy attitude toward themselves and as a result towards life and the things they want to accomplish. They have goals. They have a burning desire to succeed despite all handicaps. They know exactly what they want. They think about it every day of their lives. It gets them up in the morning and it keeps them giving their very best all day long. It's the last thing they think about before dropping off to sleep at night. They have a vision of exactly what they want to do, and that vision carries them over every obstacle. It's been said that what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. As to luck, forget it. Luck is what happens when preparedness meets opportunity, and opportunity is there all the time. It's our attitude at the beginning of a difficult task which, more than anything else, will bring about its successful outcome. That, my friend, makes the difference. The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom, courage. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. We become what we think about. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke and saw that life was duty. I acted, and behold, beauty was joy. We are at our very best, and we are happiest when we are fully engaged in work we enjoy on the journey toward the goal we've established for ourselves. The more intensely we feel about a goal, the more assuredly the idea buried deep in our subconscious will direct us along the path to its fulfillment. But whatever our goal happens to be, if we stay with it, if we're fully committed to it, we'll reach it. That's the way it works. Most seem to just drift along, taking circumstances as they come, and perhaps hoping from time to time that things will get better. If anyone can succeed, and millions do, so can you. Of one thing you may be sure, you will become what you think about. If your thinking is circular and chaotic, your life will reflect that chaos. But if your thinking is orderly and clear, if you have a goal that's important for you to reach, then reach it. You will. If you want to develop the muscles of your body, you take daily exercise of some sort. The mind is developed in the same way. The mind of man can lift anything. You see, you are at this moment the living embodiment of the sum total of your thoughts to this point in your life. You can be nothing else. Each one of us is in charge of his or her own life. Each one of us is completely responsible. You can measure opportunity with the same yardstick that measures the risk involved. They go together. Adversity introduces a person to himself. That's when we get to really know ourselves. That's when we come face to face with the real person we are and the stage of our maturity or growth to that point. Touch a thistle timidly, and it pricks you. Grasp it boldly, and its spines crumble. All problems become smaller if you don't dodge them but confront them. It's good to get rid of that word security once and for all.
A man on his own must think. He must devote more of his days to thinking. I'm talking about the man of action who gets out and raises the dust in the world. The man who risks all of his time on a goal he wants to reach, on a dream in his heart.
Okay, another good one from Gravemind. All right, so some points from that video to cover, and feel free to jump in whenever you guys want. But the first thing that he mentions in there is having a destination and the importance of knowing where you're going. So if you're aimlessly wandering around in life, you have no destination, your goal isn't crystallized in your mind, you will never be able to reach the end point. You won't have, forget the discipline, you won't even have the motivation to get up every day and be excited about something if you can't see what the end looks like. If you can't imagine yourself at the finish line or at the top corner office, name on the plaque on the wall at business, or starting your own company and managing it, or whatever it is, any goal you have, running a marathon in a certain amount of time, it doesn't matter, physical, mental, whatever. You know, anything in life that you're going after, if you do not have a destination, if you don't know where you are going, you can never discover the path to get there. When you plan out a goal, you can't say things like, I want to lose weight. That is not a destination. When you say something like, I want to lose 30 pounds in 6 months, now you have a destination and your mind automatically, subconsciously now begins the process of problem solving. Here's what I need to do. Okay, 30 pounds in 6 months. Okay, how many pounds is that a month that I need to lose? Okay. So what is that equivalent in calories? How much do I have to exercise? Your brain already begins to problem solve because you gave it a destination. The reason most people failed the New Year's resolutions is for the simple reason that they just say, well, I'm going to start working out and go to the gym. I want to lose weight. I want to get in shape. I want to get fit for a vacation I have overseas. Stupid. You have no end goal. You can't foresee what that looks like. So when the motivation wears off of the excitement of a new idea, the dopamine you get from that, you'll completely fall off track because there isn't even a track. You're running in a circle. You don't even know what you're doing at the gym. You're just going there because I need to look good. You don't have a game plan, essentially. That was part 1 in the video. Another thing he says, attitude is the reflection of the person inside. And people with bad attitude tend to attract bad scenarios in their life, bad circumstances, simply because you are what you think, essentially. You will become what you think about every single day. You think negative things will happen. You will gravitate towards negative things. You won't be able to see opportunity all around you. You'll say no to a lot of opportunities. You'll say no to good things in your life simply because of your negativity, as opposed to if you switched it and you reflect out positive energy, like today is going to be a great day. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm tired, but I'll go to the gym. I'll do what I can. I'll eat clean as much as I can, right? There's a big difference between person A wakes up super negative. My fucking back hurts. This is shit. I don't want to go to the gym today. I didn't sleep good. So then they proceed to go to work, skip gym, eat some McDonald's, have a snack because they're stressed, and then some ice cream, and then they'll go to bed late because they're on Instagram or whatever they're doing, so they feel even worse for not going to the gym, and the negativity inside manifests in their physical decisions every day. Now you have the positive person that wakes up the next morning and says, damn, I didn't really get much rest. Let me just get up right now and make myself some sort of snack as a pick-me-up, something healthy. Let me go grab a banana or an apple with some orange juice and then head out. Okay, now he's at work, he's getting off. I have to go to the gym. Regardless of how tired I am, I know I'll feel better later. At least I know I went, even if I have a crappy workout session. They go, they probably have no energy for the first half of their session, and then at the end, they feel much better that they're able to engage in some stress relief physically. Now they feel good. They're building its momentum from making good decisions throughout the day because of their reflection inside. And now this person will go to bed having eaten clean, having worked out, but it's the same exact person. One just made the wrong decisions because internally he's negative. The other one is positive. Now, if you extrapolate this out and compound it over a person's life, that is why people end up in the exact positions they deserve to be in. Like he says, you are a sum total of your thoughts up until this point in your life. Right now is where we take agency and accountability. It's not an accident that we all ended up here in some way or another. You made the choice. All the choices you've ever made in your life up until this point has brought you here. It wasn't happenstance. Okay. Then he says, achievement is the natural order of things. That's pretty much self-explanatory. If you're the positive person, you have to think that achieving things is natural. Going after goals is natural. It's not something that you're not capable of. People tend to set goals with no ending in sight, like I want to lose weight. This is where people fail at step one because they don't have the destination. People who think achievement is the natural order of things have programmed themselves to have a destination at the end of every goal they have. There is a finish line, so therefore when they achieve it, they move on to the next goal, And it could be small goals. You can start, it depends how far behind you are. You can start off with, today I'm going to throw the trash out, on time when the trash man comes. Today I will go to sleep at 10 p.m. every single night for a week. That's where you need to start. I will wake up early every single day. I will take my multivitamins every single day. I don't know how far behind you are, but the point is that you have to have an end destination. For 1 week, I will do this. For 1 month, I will do this. That's why the Spartan Challenge is set up the way it is. It's 6 months. You understand exactly how long it's going to take. You know exactly what you need to do. And you know how often you need to check in. You have a daily schedules provided for you where you have to meditate, you got to read a book, you got to check in, you got to do all these things. The roadmap is built for you. You just go on autopilot and check off the list of things you have to do. That's why it's so simple but effective. Okay. And as far as those achievement being the natural order of things, it's people tend to not have that. It's directly tied to how excited they are about their goals. And he says, know exactly what you want and think about it every single day, every hour of the day. The people that are excited, truly chasing the things that they want to chase, the idea of that finishing the goal that they have in their minds excites them. They're eliciting an emotional response that they're tapping into daily because of the excitement, anticipation. If you have a goal that doesn't get you excited, it's not much of a goal at all. It's not worthy of you. Perhaps it's too lowly. Maybe, some guys here have horrible hygiene, maybe not in this group, but let's just say in the modern world, guys don't even wash their ass or brush their teeth, some of them. Okay, imagine if you set a goal for yourself, like I'm going to brush my teeth for a whole week straight. That's not very exciting, is it? Why don't you set lofty goals for yourself that actually get you excited? I don't know what it is. Maybe you want to learn how to program and you want to become a great programmer and envision yourself learning all these programming languages and building out your first application for, mobile phones. You have to detail this out. That's having a destination. You can't just say, I just want to be a programmer. I'm just going to improve my hygiene. No, I'm going to be a successful programmer. First, I'm going to learn these 3 programming languages. I'm going to build out my first app by the end of the year after I've learned these 3 programs. Then I'm going to monetize like this. This is my idea for that. And you naturally start to set course for that exact thing that you're internalizing. That goal becomes real in your mind. And your mind starts solving problems naturally. It's conditioned to do that. That's how we survive in the wild. Once you're excited about this goal, he says the vision carries them over obstacles. No matter what happens in your life, no matter how bad things get, no matter what setbacks you come across, The fact that this vision is so exciting for you, it matters, so it's so important, you want it so bad that obstacles are no longer seen as mountains that are impenetrable, but small little hills you just go gloss right over. It's a mere up and then a down right away towards your end goal, towards your destination. Most people, when they see an obstacle, it's almost like an impenetrable mountain that stands between them and their end goal. That's one of the issues people have today. Why? Because your goals aren't worth chasing. You don't think they're important enough. And if you're not chasing something worthwhile, something that excites you, a small, molehill turns into a mountain essentially, because it takes that much more effort to do something you're not excited about. So being excited about your vision will help carry you over obstacles. Now, what else he says is, what the mind can conceive, it can achieve. So essentially, it's just reprogramming yourself to believe. It's very simple. If you can think it, you can do it in the physical world. It's not impossible. If you have a gift, you may not even know if you have a gift, but maybe you fell into some job or some position or something that you found out you were good at, or classes in school, certain topics, certain subjects. Maybe if you, start to plan that out and see that your natural talents, for example, mine was economics, and I started thinking, well, I could do something potentially in finance. I imagined myself being a finance major in college and working with the big boys, Gordon Gekko style, day trading, making millions of dollars, acquiring companies. And all this happened from me just doing good in econ class where I hardly ever tried. Because the mind can conceive it, I literally started to goal plan. When I went into school, I went into econ and business major, my first major before I switched it out. But I felt like I could do that simply for imagining that I was like a Gordon Gekko on Wall Street making a ton of fucking money. I crystallized it. I had a destination. I was going to finish college. I would get hired at one of the top firms. I would start trading. I would make millions of dollars. I saw that. I imagined, I daydreamed that like a little kid does. And so because I thought that and it made me excited, I started taking steps to get there. So what did I do? I started teaching myself day trading. I didn't wait until I finished college. I started day trading in high school. I sold my shitty $5,000 car. Okay, we bought it for $2,100. It needed some work. It was an Audi A6 Quattro from 2001, I believe. Sold it for $5,000, put it in a day trading account. This was at the height of the 08-09 crash. I invested in Citigroup with $5,000 using my coworker's day trading account because he had over $25,000. That's the limit in America in order for you to day trade. And I made my money. I was making probably $200-$300 a paycheck every 2 weeks working part-time. I made $5,000. I made more money in a couple of hours day trading than I did all year working for some shitty company like an AutoZone. Basically, it's called, Advance Auto Parts, if you're familiar with them in the South. Basically, AutoZone. I'm working as a little sales dude at the cashier, sales specialist, whatever you call it. Basically, a minimum wage job for college or high school students. Simply because I had that good thought come to me from econ class, which I excelled at, and I imagined myself to be a Gordon Gekko type, an incredible day trader on Wall Street. I opened up a day trading account. I taught myself how to read graphs. Then I was teaching myself how to trade on paper account, like those fake trading accounts. Then I saw that I was doing good. Then I went all in and I sold my car, guys. Understand, that was my only transportation. I felt so confident about my dream. I had never traded with real money, but I believed it. And so I sold my car and I actually did well. I ended up making a ton of fucking money and losing a ton of money and blew the account eventually. But lessons that I carried with me over time through life where now I can manage my own money more passively, not hardcore aggressive day trading. And I'll do just fine in any fucking market whatsoever because of all the life lessons of trading in a horrible market, teaching myself stock charts, teaching myself trends, teaching myself how to get news aggregated into one site, teaching everything, what time to wake up at, when things happen, how to read economic data, reports from companies, everything. I knew as much as the finance guys did at one point because I was voraciously reading every single fucking thing I could ever put my hands on with the power of the internet. And I taught myself everything there is to learn. And then I didn't stop at day trading stocks. I started doing Forex. I started doing options. I started doing a bunch of advanced instruments. Like you ask a person what an option is, they have no idea. Do you know what an inverse perpetual is? I've been trading inverse perpetual contracts for years now. That sounds like fucking buzzwords. It's a thing. And this all sprouted with, I did good in econ class. If you can imagine it, if you can think it, you can achieve it. The reason I got so excited about that vision is because I was broke making $200-300 every 2 weeks. How could I not get excited by seeing these Wall Street guys clearing millions of dollars, trading in the millions of dollars, and they're young, 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, fresh out of college? Of course that got me excited, but I saw it as if I was there. Okay, it says, and this is partially that goes along with the story, if your goal is important to you, you will achieve it and naturally be guided to it. That goal to me was everything. That was my whole personality. I honestly, my phones, I had 3 monitor setups where each monitor had a different like graph or something like that. When I was day trading, I was watching multiple instruments, all this stuff. It was incredible. I had the professional trading desktop like software suite and all this stuff, all on an idea. And then that idea is actually what ended up making me a ton of money later when I had a door that was open to me without ever being able to foresee it. When crypto boom happened, the very first crypto boom, I can't remember when it was, to 2017, I think, something like that. Can't remember when it was, when Bitcoin was still $900 and Ethereum was around 30. I was day trading that stuff. I had bought a bunch and I was day trading it and I was making $1,000 a day for months on end. And my account was growing during the quote bull market. It was impossible to fucking lose from all the shit that I learned essentially from before day trading in a stock market that was crumbling, crashing in 0809. I made my that $5,000 that I made that buying Citigroup. I'll never forget. They were filing for bankruptcy and I bought them at, I want to say like 94 cents, something. It was like 94 cents. I swear it was 94 cents. And a billionaire ended up putting up money to help bail them out of bankruptcy, and the stock shot up to like $1.17, $1.21, or some shit like that. I was obviously leveraged up a bit, and so I made my $5,000 back. He says here, opportunity is measured with the same yardstick as risk. There are a bunch of risk-averse people, and that's putting it lightly. There are a lot of people that are living on this planet right now that are afraid to take on any risk. They're okay with a weekly paycheck. They're okay with putting in decades at a company to get out a retirement fund, a pension. They will not attempt any side business, any side hustle, anything at all that could bring them extra income. It represents risk. Guys will not invest in themselves and maybe take up trade school. It represents a risk. Guys will refuse to invest in themselves, teach themselves how to things on the internet, and maybe start a little online business doing something. Represents too much risk. People are okay with the status quo because it's comfortable. Comfortable is where dreams go to die. If you don't have a state of uneasiness, if your life is comfortable, you aren't growing. If you feel good where you're at right now, you've stagnated, my friend. I feel fucking nervous every day. My goals are so big that I feel like I'm failing at times. Like I'm not doing enough. Like, should I be doing more because I don't have this, and this? I'm dreaming up a life that requires multiple millions of dollars coming in a month. And anything short of that is a failure in my mind. I am chasing something so lofty, so high, that I'm getting like a contact high from the thought alone that's progressing me through every day. I swear to you, my days pass like this. I feel like I barely have time to think and do anything. I'm always working, always doing something, always in meetings. Always, because I'm chasing my end goal, my destination. I'm envisioning myself in having everything I've ever dreamed of having. Everything I never had as a kid. That's what's powering me through any obstacle I may come through. That's why I do everything that I do, is because the risk that I'm willing to take has afforded me already in life a bunch of opportunities. I've taken so much risk, and every time I've been afforded new opportunities in life. Have I failed on a bunch? Yes, and that's fine. That's a normal part of progress. But being afraid to take risk will shut your growth completely. You are stagnant right where you are. Some people are creatures of habit. Maybe they're okay with a $1,000 a week that they're making. And after taxes, it isn't shit. And every month, you know exactly how much you earn. And every month, you know exactly how much you should budget, how much you could put aside if there's any left. And for the next 10 years, you're pretty much going to be making this with very little raises. And that's life, dude. It passes you by. You're going to wake up one day and you're 66, whatever the fuck retirement age will be by the time you're ready to retire, because it keeps going up. You might have to be 71 by the time you're ready to retire if you're a young guy. And what did you accomplish? Nothing. You didn't attempt anything in life because of risk aversion. You were scared. You have to take what I like to call calculated risks in life. If it fails, I will get, a chunk of my finances wiped, or I might be set back for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Who knows? Depends how much I invest in the idea. At least I can go to my grave knowing I tried. If I fail, that's okay. It's checked out of my mind. I never have to think about it again. How many people are living here with regret right now, especially some of the older guys, of some ideas you had that you wanted to do when you were younger and you didn't because the risk scared you? What if it failed? There's a lot of dudes like that. And he says at the very end, and this is a good way to close out and start opening up to everybody, get rid of the word security. He says that specifically in the video. Security is for bitches. If you try to chase security as a man, you might as well chase poverty. Because every single time, every one of you here has experienced any growth in your life, tremendous amounts of growth, you were least secure. And I know that as a fact because that's happened to me every single time. When I was on the most uneven ground, shaking, not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do, back against the wall, that's when I experienced the most growth. And I know every single person here, when they were put in those positions, they just grew like crazy. Security is where dreams go to die.
There was a quote that it's anonymous, but I remembered it and I searched it up. It goes to what you were saying. The quote reads like this. Someone once told me the definition of hell. The last day you have on earth. The person you become will meet the person you could have become. End quote.
Yes. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. If you need fear to push you guys in the right direction, just think of that. You're on your deathbed. You don't got much time left. And your life is flashing before your eyes. I have a nightmare similar to this. And you're thinking of all the things you've said no to, all the potential life you could have lived, all because fear, all because doubt, all because you cared what other people thought, that you didn't want to look like a noob in something, a fool, a failure, all that shit. We got one ticket on this earth. We're never coming back. There's no reincarnating into something. Don't care what you believe in, dude. In this body, in this form, in this shape, you will never be back here. Who knows if whatever there is on the other side. But this is a one-way trip. Are you really going to worry about what everybody else thinks? Are you really going to worry about maybe looking stupid? Maybe being new at something? Maybe failing? Really? You have to, this is the thought you have to have when you have a new idea and you get naturally a little bit scared about chasing it. The risk aversion kicks in. What if I fail? What if I'll die soon? Simple. I'll be dead one day. Does this fear matter? Is anybody going to remember me being afraid? Is anybody going to remember me failing? Think about it. Some guys are scared to go overseas for whatever reason because it's a new country. They think they won't get by with English, or they'll get robbed, or the culture shock's too big, or leaving friends and family behind, or whatever it is that scares them. They haven't even set foot in the other country for a vacation, not even for a week at least. And they're already trembling in their boots. How would you know if you wouldn't like it? You haven't even been on vacation, bro. You never left the States. Why are you afraid? It's crazy what the mind can do. People hold themselves back more than anything. And do you want to be that guy that will be on their deathbed and wonder, I should have fucking visited that country. I should have asked that girl out. I should have asked for a promotion. You know what? I should have started that business. I should have. So many of those. That shit is the death of you. Those build up in your mind. That's why you experience anxiety. Every time you say no to something, a piece of you knows it would have went well. A piece of you knows you would have got some closure in attempting that idea or whatever it was, asking a girl out, whatever. You would have had an answer at least. Now you have to wonder forever, what if? And not even forever, a limited time that you're on this earth. We're not all afforded health. Health is wealth, as they say. Tomorrow you could be sick, stuck in a wheelchair. God knows what could happen. Who knows, man? You're not promised tomorrow. So why not act today? That's how I see it personally. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's what my uncle said to me. My uncle, I saw his transition. He was a completely healthy man when I was a kid. And then I want to say in my early teens, he got diagnosed with MS. And that man, he's so angry. He's so bitter now. The once vibrant man I once knew, but he's happy when he sees me and my cousins. And when he asked me, he's like, Brendan, how you doing? I'm like, well, I'm doing all right. He said, but you're doing way better than me. He said, I'm angry all the time. I once had my health. I remember what that felt like. And then one day I felt like crap, and I don't feel the same way anymore, man. And I have this for the rest of my life. Nothing is going to change. So he said, whatever day you have arms, you have legs. If you feel good, you have air in your lungs. He said, appreciate that, man. Trust me. Because he said, now I can't work anymore. He can't go back to work again. And now he gets, compensation for his sickness. And he's like, dude, it's taking a toll on me. So long story short, always appreciate the days that you are healthy and able to do what you can do.
Amen to that. You don't know until you lose it, really. We get a glimpse of that when we're sick. How horrible does it feel like to come down with a cold? You want nothing more than to get rid of that. Now imagine having a lifelong illness or losing your ability to be mobile. Something happens to your legs or an arm or something like that. Like everything works. Everybody here is healthy for the most part. If we keep doing our part, take care of your meat vehicle. I always say that shit. It's not for the women. It's for you. This is the vessel that you're housed in. That's all it is. Stop being insecure about it. Stop wondering what people care. It's just a meat vehicle. It carries your brain. You are in your brain. That's everybody who's talking right now. Detach yourself from your body. Just see it as a car, a biological car that houses your brain, and it takes you and does what you want it to do. You're controlling this thing. People are too caught up in thinking they are their bodies. You're not. Your body is just a thing you're housed in. Go to the gym, take care of it. Take your multivitamins, eat clean. It's for you, not for women. This shit needs to be an internal motivation of, I need this thing to last me in a healthy state as long as I can. You don't want to be 60 fucking something years old and you need 10 million pharmaceutical pills just to make it through the day. If you don't take your blood pressure this, if you don't take your heart medication this, if you don't take this for blah, 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 you'll fucking keel over and die. What is that? Is that where you want to end up? Because you made compounding choices of always eating nasty food and not taking care of your body, not exercising, sedentary lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. We all know the work we have to do. Some people don't wake up until it's too late. When you have the fucking ER visit at the hospital and the doctor tells you, well, you got a lot of plaque around your arteries. Well, your blood pressure is really high. Well, John, you just got diabetes now, and it says we're going to have to do some changes. That's when you want the change to happen? You want it to get to the extreme point of like, oh, fuck, I'm dying. Now it's time to move? Be preventative, guys. All of this shit in life is avoidable. Goals are very much the same way. Break them down like that in little bits and you'll get to the end goal. Don't think of the end goal, or don't do a change in your life based out of fear when you run out of time. We have a member here that he only does things when he has no other choice or option left. And he's basically at his wit's end. And like, if I don't do this by this month, I'll end up homeless. So then that's what pushes him to act. Don't do that. You're only making things more difficult. Be proactive with everything in life, with your health, with your goals, with everything. You make shit easier for yourself. If you don't believe me, just consider yourself going down the path you're going down and realistically seeing what the next 10 years looks like. Are you going to be happy with that? Most people here will say absolutely fucking not. The whole point of being here is because you want radical change in your life. That change starts every single day. It's small battles. Tomorrow you should wake up early. Tomorrow you should eat clean. Tomorrow you should go for a walk, an hour or so. Then maybe look about joining a gym. Start adding an hour of weight training. Why? For yourself, not for anybody else. But you're preventing your meat vehicle from deteriorating. Because what if you would like to live more life at 75 and not be wheelchair bound? What if you don't want to have to go to the doctor and get visits for God knows what because you're one medical, emergency away from keeling over? You're so unhealthy. Or got to go get your prescription filled. This stuff's keeping me alive. Come on, man. You have to build urgency, guys. If it's not real for you in your mind, it won't affect you. And if it doesn't affect you, you won't make it actionable. That's the point of all this. Use your imagination. Scare yourself to death if that's what it takes. Imagine yourself sick. Use examples of people around you. Maybe people that have passed away, friends, family. What if you end up like them? If they're an example of like bad health, bad decisions, and went down a hard path in their final days. You have examples. You hear all the stories. If you don't deeply imagine this stuff, just like you have to deeply imagine goals on the positive side, some people are motivated by fear. Some people use fear as fuel. You may be one of these people. Like maybe thinking these happy thoughts and imagining yourself in the corner office isn't enough. Maybe you have to imagine yourself absolutely dead broke under a bridge, people spitting on you because you're rustling the little can for change. Like you have to imagine being there. Imagine what your family would think. Imagine the shame. Imagine all that stuff. Maybe you need a little bit of that negativity. It just depends how your brain is wired. But you have to use the power of imagination to the point where it feels real. This is the secret. This is the magic sauce right here, is the power of your imagination to the point where it feels real.